it has been really grey and rainy all morning. So of course when I decide to sit down at my desk and film, it gets really sunny and bright, which is lovely. It just makes it really hard to see. So there's my print. Probably can't see it. It's very, very light. Looking at it now, I see the one that I picked has a lot of like empty space that I didn't feel like drawing in on the computer. So I'll just fill in color on my page. I'm going to use watercolor markers and water and brushes to color this. I really like using watercolor markers, and I'm using watercolor paper as well. I think it's 30% cotton, this paper, so it's a little bit better for detail, and there's lots of like detail in this. So we're just gonna have some fun and paint this. Just got myself a coffee. Frosty just left the room because I'm speaking again. These are the ones that I've done so far in this series, and I have one on the other side but I don't like it. This rose I found kind of difficult because she's so detailed, and I found I had to make her bigger, and then I chose a different image then as well. It's just this paper is so absorbent. It's 100% cotton, so it's just too absorbent for doing detail. I have to wait for it to dry fully and then I can go over it. But I am a very impatient person. I do love this one. I love how she turned out, and I love the color that I chose for her petals. And then I have the daisy as well. Love the daisy. But maybe the tulips and the bread and butterflies will be my favorite next. Let's see. See if I can set you up somewhere that everything doesn't get washed out. My swatches to pick out my colors. The tulips are kind of like, they go from a pink to a red. Well, I do. I'll stick with the pinky color anyway. It's actually been a good while since I did any painting. I feel kind of a little unsure of myself. I'm just gonna start. Just bite the bullet and just go for it. I'm not sure I've used these on this paper yet. I'm not sure how well they are gonna turn out actually. They don't seem to blend as well on this paper as they do on this paper. I think I'm going to keep them all pink. I'm not going to bother with them going to red. I do these ones darker than the others, but I'm not going to make them a totally different color. I've decided. It's actually so warm here now. It was so cool all morning, and now my back is roasting with the sun shining in on it, and I'm not going to complain about having sunshine. I do quite like the pink I've chose. It's called Peach. I do quite like the shade. I'm just gonna leave that there, and I think I will do a bread and butterfly now. Always before I start something like this, I'm like, yeah, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm gonna do. I know what colors I'm gonna use. I know what paper I'm gonna do. I know what paper I'm gonna use. And then I start and I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue what I'm doing. But I think that helps me learn, doesn't it? It helps me figure things out. I always just have to get over the starting bit. And then when you reach a hiccup, you just kind of have to keep going. You can't see what I'm doing. It's just kind of difficult to keep going once you encounter that first little hiccup. Yeah, I'm going to do my stems and leaves, and then leave everything to dry so that I don't get things bleeding together. So let me see what color I do for my stems. I think I'll start with this one, grass green. This might be kind of bright. Yeah, that's extremely bright. This is just our base one, our base color. I think I'll use it for one side of the leaves, so the point that gets the light is this one. My back is roasting. This is my progress. Very little progress, but it's like my first layer down, and I'm going to leave it to dry completely because I don't want to have any bleed going into like between petals. It's happened to me a few times, so lesson learned. I have to learn to be patient, especially when I want there to be shading. Like I don't want the darks and lights to mix together too much, which is what happened to me here with this lady. Like I just totally lost her face, and then I got much more patient and gave myself more room to work with, and I so much happier with this one. I will try to be patient now again, and I'll just go do something else for a while. Pick something out of my hobby basket, or I might read more of my book. I have been doing this other project that I really want to do a video about, called Tarot TBR, where I use the Major Arcana tarot cards to help me pick a book from my TBR. I've been really enjoying it. I started doing it in February, I think. Yeah, I really enjoy it, and I want to expand it a bit more because it is like thinking about a card in that way gives me ideas to do other things. Like I want to start doing paintings based on it as well. What I'm reading at the moment is An Academic Affair by, I can't remember her name, but it is really good. I'm really enjoying it. It's a contemporary romance, enemies to lovers, about two academics who are competing for everything. Actually, they are constantly in competition with each other. It's a really light-hearted, easygoing, slow burn romance set in Australia, and I think this is the first contemporary romance that I've read set in Australia. I know Sally Thorne is Australian, or at least I think she's Australian, but I can't remember if she sets her books in Australia. Yeah, I'm going to get away from this sun hitting my back. It's so warm, and I'm gonna go do something else for a while, and then we will be back to do some more painting. I actually really like this green and this pink together. I thought the green was way too green. It's too bright of a green, but it goes quite well with that pink, so I might stick with it. It's kind of pastel-y looking, which is nice. Don't like the way they've gone, the way the color has mixed with the water there. Don't like that. We'll have to change that. So the paints are blending a good bit differently on this paper than what I'm used to. It is finally strawberry season, so I'm going to make myself some Wexford strawberries and Greek yogurt. Of course, cream is nicer, but Greek yogurt is also lovely. So this is my midday snack, some Wexford strawberries, which are the nicest strawberries. They're the nicest strawberries, but I am a Kilkenny woman, so. See this? This is such a good sign. They're early season, but there's not too much white there, so we're doing really well. I have my delicious bowl of strawberries. I'm just going to put it down here next to my book. We've done a little bit of rearranging in here, just a tiny bit. I had to take down my hobby basket from here. It used to always be here, but the Chromecast kept losing the internet connection, so I had to take it down, and now it's just there. It's just next to my feet on the couch. And I've changed the couch a little bit. I have a new blanket for Frosty. Those blue bags there, just ignore them. They're for the cat litter, which is behind there, behind the couch. Got myself some new cushions, and that blanket comes down for Stevie. That's where Stevie sits, but during the day it is Frosty's little blanket fort, I guess. Blanket cave. Here then, I just set up this cozy little spot with a little basket of wool and a book and these extremely cute little things. I love these. These were my mother's. They were on this kind of plant feature, and she just took them off and gave them to me. And these we actually used at our wedding to decorate the gazebo that we had our ceremony in. I think they came from Penny's. And then we did a little bit of tidying in here as well, in our little kitchen. So I have this little Disney corner right here and some pears. But we have both of our ears. Stevie has some Captain America ones, and then I have these Aladdin ones. And then the Coke bottle from Galaxy's Edge, and that's my magic band. And then on this corner, we have some little pieces of Lego. That's the case for my camera that I'm using at the moment. I love this. We got this in London, obviously, on the bus. Got both of those in London. Stevie, or someone, I think it was Stevie, gave me this one of my birthdays, but I didn't write the year on it, so I haven't a clue when it was given to me. I just leave it there. And some other nice little things. This was a lot of fun to build, this record player. I would like more pieces of Lego like that and more flowers. Absolutely love those guys. And then I gave the shelves a quick tidy as well. Totally changed it actually. Not just a quick tidy, I got a total new look. We have moved all our pet food stuff in here because we were using the utility room. We're just getting ready for the summer because we will be sharing the house with my parents again for the summer. So we are just trying to make better use of the shared spaces, or making them more shareable and not taking them over anymore. We take them over for like the rest of the year. And so we just moved everything in here, and I've been tidying up the space, changing things around to make it more functional, because at the moment it's just kind of where I throw things. So I want to tidy it all up and make it nice and livable again. So up in the top, I just put some nice things that I have. These are all things I like to use when we're having like nibbly food, like wine and olives and nuts and that kind of food. I use these things. So I have them up there. I think they look really nice with the wooden shelves. There's a string of lights that is falling down. So that's the way our kitchen looks at the moment. This is honestly one of my favorite places. I love it in here. Good morning. Still not a morning person. It is a beautiful morning. Oh, I have the curtains closed still. See, I am so not a morning person. While it's nice, I'm gonna go sit outside and have my coffee to wake up. And it's probably not gonna stay nice, so I need to take advantage of it. It's actually still quite cloudy, but there is some sun. It's probably not even that warm outside, but I'm gonna sit outside and listen to the birds and drink my coffee. It'll be nice. Wisteria is starting to come in. I can't wait till this is all fully in bloom. It looks so messy right now, but when they're in bloom, it just looks amazing. This is my current favorite flower. I have a clue what it's called, but it's very pretty. Bees seem to really like it as well. That was seriously such a nice way to start my morning. I wish I could start every morning that way, just sitting outside in the sun. But obviously I can't do that because it's usually raining. I've just made my breakfast. I made a boiled egg and I'm going to have 2 slices of brown bread, McCambridge brown bread. Really like that brown bread. It's kind of a dry brown bread, but it's really nice. And I'm just going to sit here and eat my breakfast and continue to go through waking up. I'm losing my view of the hill. I'm gonna lose it soon. all the leaves are filling in, which is lovely as well, but I am gonna lose my view soon. I like that I have it in winter because it just makes winter that bit nicer, a bit better. And in summer then I'll probably spend a lot of my time on the other side of the house anyway. Okay, I've had my breakfast and everything and I'm feeling so much more awake now. Awake enough to do some painting, and the sun is going in behind the clouds now, but I did dress lighter today so I shouldn't get too hot sitting here. I don't know what I'm going to do in the summer. I'm probably going to keep the curtains closed all the time. So this is where we're at. Not far at all, but that's fine because I'm doing it in sections to make sure I don't get too much bleeding, though I got a bit of bleeding on the bread. So today we'll do a bit more on the flowers and on the bread and butterflies. I do have one of those tripods that I can connect the camera to the desk to give you more of a straight down view, but I'm not sure where it is. So we'll just set up as best we can. I'm not trying to teach you anything anyway, we're just doing something together for fun. Okay, so I was testing some colors here for the next part of this, which is to be a lighter than this, but I went quite light with the main part of the flower. Okay, so this one is very light, tender pink. Let's just give this a go. I'm actually just going to fill in the whole thing and then go over it just because it's so light. I feel like maybe I should have done the light parts first instead of the base part. I don't know. Sure, I don't know what I'm doing. Their antenna in the picture is like a more pinky color, but I'm actually going to do them the same color as their body. I think I would have preferred to make these a bit bigger. Like, they are small in the actual image because they're, you know, further away, but I think I would prefer to make them way bigger, just for be more fun for me to paint if I had thought of it. But I'll know it now for next time. When I try to do another Disney one, I'll make things a bit bigger. I think watercolor is just so much fun to paint with. I have very little experience with it because I always painted in acrylic when I was in college. It would be acrylic and oil. A lot of oil, actually. I can still smell the oil paint. And I would really, really love to go back into it because I love the rich colour of oil paints. But I'm just not there yet at the moment, and I am having a lot of fun with the watercolour. I do love how quick the watercolour is, especially how quick it dries. Oil paint takes an insane amount of time to dry. I actually came across this painting that I did over 15 years ago. I'm not sure, it could be like 18 or 19 years ago that I painted it, because I remember I was still with my ex when I did the painting. So pre my husband, and I think I'm with my husband 15 years this year. Not married 15 years, together 15 years. And I did it before I was seeing him. I was still with my ex when I did the painting. And it was really interesting holding it in my hands. The last acrylic painting that I did. And I remember doing it so well. So yeah, I would really like to start doing acrylic painting again. But for now, I'm very happy with my watercolors. I should be able to add the butter. So I need a nice yellow. Last night, while I was waiting for my paint to dry, I was going to do some more reading in an academic affair, but I only read a tiny bit, and then I decided to watch this show. What was it called? Widow's Bay. I really enjoyed it. I love horror, and this is a comedy as well, and I thought they balanced the horror and comedy so well. Like, it was genuinely funny and then genuinely scary, so I really enjoyed it. The main character in it, we're following the mayor as he tries to bring his he lives on this island that doesn't have much going for it. Like, they don't get any mobile phone reception, and there's a lot of like old wives' tales about the place, and our old fisherman's tales, all these stories that he thinks are doing the island a disservice. Like, they can't get infrastructure on the island. So he decides to try build up the tourism appeal, and at the same time all this strange and spooky stuff starts happening. The mayor in it, like, he reminds me a bit of Michael Scott from The Office. Like, he's not totally the same, but he reminds me of him. So it's kind of like Michael Scott as a mayor in a spooky show. It's very entertaining. Okay, I want to add a bit of shadow just here on the flowers. So you can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to add a bit of shadow just here on the flowers. So I'm just going to add more of this first, and then we'll see about maybe adding a darker color. I'm going to see how well this works first. Not entirely sure how I'm going to edit this. So just thinking, I'm talking so much. A lot of it is just like my inner monologue just coming out. But it's actually kind of fun to talk while I'm painting. It's kind of like in school, we talked a bit, but not that much. Most people were listening to music. I did go to a sip and paint evening once with a few friends actually, and we obviously did lots of talking at that, and it was good fun. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do his eyes because they're obviously white. I'll try to do this carefully, and then I'm just going to use a pen to do the dots of his eyes and give him an outline. And obviously the paper is white, but it just doesn't look right if you just leave it, or I think if I just leave it, it doesn't look right. Need to have some paint down. And I'm going to leave this to dry now before I do the rest of the petal. I'm back, and I was going to play some 2 Point Campus. Not 2 Point Campus, 2 Point Museum while I was waiting for it to dry, but I just played with Frosty for a while. She's obsessed with this shoelace, playing with it over the side of the couch. She's obsessed with it. She loves it. So I'm gonna try this, doing it a little bit differently to how I normally do. So this is where we are at the moment, and I quite like how the pink is coming out. I think I would like to add a little bit more contrast. I have another bit to add in here as well. I quite like how the leaves are turning out as well. I'm going to add a bit darker color to the top. And blend it out. There's this illustrator whose stuff I really love. I follow her on Instagram, and I can't think of her name right now. It's the trouble with things, I never check people's names. She does really cute things, really cute illustrations, and she always outlines things, or most of her pictures, in a shade of pink. I think it just looks so lovely and brings a lovely tone to the whole image. So that's something I would like to try myself, but I don't know if I'll do it now. Probably not. Because she has a whole colour scheme going. She knows what she's doing. I'm going to fill in the darker bit. Okay, I'm going to test this here first. I think I'm happy with that for the shaded colour. It's quite similar to what I have here, so putting a bit too much water on my brush sometimes. So it's giving me the bleed when I get too much of it. Yeah. So there's my painting before I do the background and the outline. I'm quite happy with it so far. On the screen on the camera it looks a good bit darker than it looks to me. So I suppose I'll see when I'm editing what it looks like. I'm going to leave my painting to dry fully, and then I'm going to do the background. I think for the background I'm going to do shades of blue in some form of abstract pattern, which is kind of the way it is in the film. In the film it's all these blue shades of leaves and very dark green, so something like that. But for now, while I'm waiting for that to dry completely, I am going to have a cup of coffee and a little snack, and now I'm going to play 2 Point Museum. 2 Point Museum released a DLC this week called Artifacts, so they have like art DLC for your museum. So I think there's things like sculptures and probably interactive art displays and stuff like that. 2 Point Museum is such a fun game, really silly. I don't know how to describe it. It's such a fun game. It's just, it has like the management system and then loads of silliness. So they have 2 Point Museum, 2 Point Campus and 2 Point Hospital. 2 Point Hospital was the first one. But I love these series of games. I think they're brilliant. My favorite is 2 Point Campus so far, but 2 Point Museum is really good as well. I haven't played it in a while, but I'm excited to play this new DLC. This is our gaming station. Well, it's also where I do my video editing. I'm back. I had a lot of fun playing 2 Point Museum, and now I'm just going to add the background in here. I'm just going to do shades of blue, just messy shades of blue.